Hello, I am co-hosting a readathon, which is very exciting. This is the Shardathon round 3. These are Cosmere-inspired readathons hosted by Sophia at Sophia Thoughts. I will have her channel linked down below and her announcement video. There are also 2 other hosts. There's Jessie at The Bookish Mom and there's Joanna. We're all very excited to do this, and this time the theme, the world, is the world for Warbreaker. Warbreaker is a very colorful book. I'm very excited to be a co-host for this one because I love all of the Cosmere books, but this one's just so colorful and I'm really excited how we're breaking it down. We're each part of a team host, although this is very loose. This is meant to just be for fun, so you can definitely go between the team's prompts, but I am Team Lightsong. Lightsong's great. Just so you guys know, Lightsong is maybe the best. Maybe. He's hysterical. He's, not to get into it, this is just like synopsis stuff, but he's a god who doesn't want to be a god, which is like my favorite thing. So basically the idea though is based off the theme of this magic system is in the magical world there's a certain heightening that you have based off breaths. And so there are a maximum of 10 heightenings. And so the idea is each prompt you read is an automatic 1 point. And if you also add certain diversity elements, I will have a list here. So person of color, author, LGBTQ representation, it's a nonfiction, it's a translation. There are lots of things that could give you that extra bonus point. If the book takes place outside of the UK or the United States, like things that we all typically maybe don't gravitate towards because it's not the most popular thing published, you get an additional point. But you could also just read 10 books, so just do 10 prompts and things like that. And I'm going to go through all of the prompts for all of the teams just for the sake of completeness, and in a couple, well, maybe just in a week and a half, you will get to see my TBR that I'm very excited to put together. But this is just the announcement video, and you know, you don't have to make it to 10 heightenings. That's not essential, but if that's the goal essentially. And there is a group book. So before I get into the prompts, our group book is the short story novella Perfect State by Brandon Sanderson. This is not a Cosmere novella, but it's one that a lot of people don't normally read, and it's short, so we figured it would be fun. And if you read the group book, which can also count for any of the prompts, that's another thing, books can count for multiple prompts. So if you have a book that counts for 7 prompts, that is 7 heightenings off of 1 book. Go you. But this will give you the Nightblood status. So Nightblood is a great thing in this book, and I will leave it at that. Nightblood is fantastic. So if you read the group book, I'm sure we're going to have a live show in some way for it, and we're going to have reading sprints on Twitter, and I think we might try to host them on YouTube. We will see. Make sure to keep an eye on Sophia's channel and all of our social medias, but I'll have linked down below, and we will keep you updated because this is a month-long readathon. It's meant to more just be chill with a flexible way of curating your TBR. And so let's get into the prompts. And so I will move over here so you can see the prompts while I talk about them. The first one is Returned. Give a book a second chance. So read a reread or a book that maybe you DNF'd, but it was like a soft DNF. Either one of those works. God of Bravery. Read a book with gods in it, or read a book with a red and yellow cover. That's because those are the colors for Lightsong, as he's godhood, if you didn't know. And the next one is Never Asked for This. So read a book with a reluctant hero or protagonist, because he is reluctant. And then we have Secret Cinnamon Roll, because Lightsong is a secret cinnamon roll. But read a book with the found family or a mentor trope in it. And the last one is Siri. Read a book from Siri's List. So the next one we'll talk about is Siri's List. We have Youngest Sibling. Read a book that's new to you or your TBR. You can choose that however you want. I know I don't really have a physical TBR, but like if this is the most recent book that you have checked out from the library, that counts, sort of thing. You can choose it how you see fit, even if it's like the most recent book that's come to mind. It's a new book to you. But then the next one is Spontaneous, a mood read. So just you wanted to pick up a book, go for it. We then have Royal Locks, a book with multiple colors on the cover. This has to do with stuff with Siri in the book. It's really cool. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I don't know how to say this character's name, but Susabron, maybe? But a book picked for you by someone else because of plot things. And yeah, so you could ask people online. You can ask your family. I am personally going to be using what my Patreons put together for me because they, every month, pick something for me to read. And then the last one is Vivenna. Read a prompt from Vivenna's list, and that's because Vivenna's her sister. So now we'll go to Vivenna's list. We've got Eldest Sibling, read a classic. We have Reserved, a book you've been meaning to read for ages. Royal Locks, a book with one color on the cover. Obviously, not everything's going to only have one color, so use your discretion. But I'm personally going to go with something that's like a very muted same color, like maybe Bone Shard Daughter, or maybe, I don't know, I'm still working on it, but like Bone Shard Daughter technically has a couple colors, but it's very gray. So I feel like that's like one color. And then we have Expectation, a highly anticipated book. And then Vasher, read a prompt from Vasher's list. And Vasher has Awakening, an action-packed book. Nightblood, read a book with a favorite trope, so you can just, pick whichever trope works for you. Swordsmanship, a fast-paced or short book. Mysterious, read a thriller or mystery. And also, if you're reading like a sci-fi thriller or a mysteries in a fantasy book, that counts, subgenres count. And then Lightsong, read a prompt from Lightsong's list. And we have come full circle. So like I said, you don't have to stick to one list, but if you want to try and embody a certain character in this world, feel free to challenge yourself that way. And if you really want to stay to that list, then you would be doing those 5 prompts and trying to make each of those books have those diversity elements. But like I said, to get to 10 heightenings, you could just read 10 books, or remember, books can do multiple prompts. So you could potentially find a book that does like 4 prompts and has that diversity point, so that's like 5 heightenings, right? Or you could find a book that does 5 prompts with the diversity element, so that's 6 points, right? So this is hopefully good for everyone who has different reading speeds. And if you have any other questions, you can feel free to ask me, but I will also refer you to Sophia's video because this is her brainchild. She just invited me to be here, and I am more than happy to be because I love the Cosmere and I love Lightsong. Lightsong's amazing. I'll have an image here. He's really cool. Gosh, I mean, Brandon Sanderson's humor is not for everyone, but the humor he uses for Lightsong, it's for me. It's very much for me. So yeah, and so any images that you will need for Instagram and everything like that, that will be down below in a Google Drive if that's accessible to me. Just bother me if you have questions. I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram, I have a Discord. Find me, I will try my best. And otherwise, if you've made it this far, put something very colorful as your emoji. Like it can be a rainbow, like a rainbow works. Or if you think there's something else that's better, but I guess my option for you is a rainbow. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.